Hello and welcome to not the whole puzzle because I finally have a table, yay, which is awesome. And so that's cool. Challenge is I can now not show you the whole puzzle in one go because table is too tall, camera is close enough, because I want to show you things, but also I mean, there is, where is this one going? There. And the pieces I just flipped here are pieces I went through and sorted everything again. Because I'm, well, I am who I am. I do things that I do. So I sorted everything, but I didn't sort, I just tried to look for the few pieces I felt like I was missing. When I got about halfway, I realized I probably should have been sorting a little bit more of the other things too. So that's, yeah, that happened in such a way as normal. And as you can see, I'm already struggling with my new pieces. Is that normal? Why, yes, it is. But, you know, that's how it goes. Life and all and whatnot. But at least I have some puzzle pieces. Yay! That's fun. As usually all over the place. I don't need to like excuse that anymore. We all know this at this point, right? Unless you're new here, in that case, welcome. I tend to talk a lot and be all over the place when it comes to, well, just about everything and anything. And why does, oh, okay. Yeah, starting off real strong in the non-focused department, I guess you could say. So that is positive, right? It's positive, I hope. Well, we'll pretend. I have moving the puzzle from kind of where it was on still the same surface, but on chairs. That was it would have been easier if I had had some help. There is no doubt about that. It would have been a lot easier if I had had some help. But I did it myself. It was, honestly, it was quite nerve-wracking. I have to say, it was very nerve-wracking. I almost dropped it several times. So that was, I guess you could say the not fun part of it, but also, boy was it satisfying when I actually did manage to do it, you know, move the whole thing, because this is not like super heavy, but it's heavy enough, and it is quite, how would you put it? It is quite hard to maneuver because it is, it's, well, it's, oh gosh, I'm missing words today. Sorry about that. It's hard to maneuver because it is such a big piece. So that was, not the most fun I've ever had, but also, I mean, I did laugh at myself quite a bit while doing it because it was such a struggle. I just had to hold it in, make sure I didn't laugh my ass off at myself while I was trying to maneuver this whole thing, because that would have definitely ended on the floor, which would not have been. That would so not have been a good idea. But as you can see, it did it. It did not fall on the floor. It did juggle things around a bit, and yeah, I sorted and found some new pieces, and they were easier to put away right now. But now we're back to the struggles, I guess. Just, it is what it is. And should I have been better at sorting more things out, oh dear, while I was, well, sorting? And the answer is, well, probably. Probably. But if you're not new, you know that's how it is. If you are new, well, you'll learn. That's the thing. When we meet new people, it takes us a little while to get to know them and figure them out, and then eventually we take a lot of what they do almost for granted and think it's normal. Right? Or is that just me? I mean, it could totally be just me, because, yeah, that's how I supposedly function. And yes, I say supposedly because sometimes I don't even know how I function. So that's fun. I've been a little stressed, or not really stressed. I've been exhausted. That is not very stressed, but yeah, it's something. Because the other day, I spent some days, I spent some days with my parents, which was lovely. I mean, it feels a bit like I'm at a hotel or something when I hang out with my parents. Not because, well, that's actually not, well, yeah, it feels a bit like it. I can't just order them to do things. Obviously, that would have been very, very weird and not cool at all. But they do a lot for me when I come to visit, and I really appreciate it. And it feels a bit like I'm in a hotel because Mom makes all the food. And sure, I obviously help tidy up the dishes and all, but I don't do the cooking. I arrive and there's food. That feels, man, I feel so spoiled whenever I go there, and you know, my parents make me dinner. I love that. And I feel like I'm very, very spoiled when I get to do such things. So that is pretty awesome. For me, at least. I don't know how other people feel about stuff like that, because, you know, we all have different opinions or ideas, or I don't even know how to explain it or what word to use, but we all have a different level of what we would count as feeling like we are spoiled, I think. Or maybe not all, but we have different interpretation of what it is to be spoiled or not. And I always feel spoiled when I go to my parents, and they, you know, they make sure I'm fed and all. It is so nice. It is so nice. But yes, I absolutely feel spoiled. I love that. I don't think it would be good for anyone to be spoiled all the time. Then you'd turn into a freaking asshat or something, which would not be good for anyone involved. I don't think that would be healthy. But yeah, every now and then, it's okay to feel a little spoiled by your parents. At least that is my opinion. So yeah, I was with my parents and I felt spoiled. It was great. And now I'm back home, and I'm definitely not spoiled anymore because I have to do everything by myself here. Even move a big ass puzzle table. And yeah, sure, I know I am lucky because I could have asked my neighbor. Unfortunately for me, he was not home at that specific moment that I intended to do it. So in that sense, I couldn't ask him. But, you know, technically, I could have waited until he was home, and then I could have asked him. And I have amazing neighbors, so the chance of them saying yes is pretty high. Pretty good chance for that one to say, yeah, sure, I'll help you out. So, yet again, I'm lucky in so many ways. Really lucky in so many ways. But yeah, on my way home from my parents, I had an appointment. That's what I wanted to tell you about today. Because, wow, that was something. Not the appointment. The appointment was just fine. Not a problem with that. But the parking. Oh my God. I don't mind driving. Actually, I like driving. Parking, not as crazy about it. But generally not a big problem either. The big challenge for me comes when it comes to parking places I'm not used to being. That can definitely be a bit of a challenge at times. And this time, when I went to the appointment, that definitely became a rather big challenge. Oh my Lord, I felt like that was like a whole thing on its own. And it almost made me miss my appointment, which is kind of crazy to think about because I was early for my appointment. I like being early for my appointments because that way there is somewhat less to freak out about being late. But yeah, I got to where I was going early. I had been there once before, so I figured it wouldn't be a problem, you know? Well, joke's on me, because turns out that it was a much bigger challenge than I thought it would be. The parking, that is. I didn't like it at all. Because the parking, which shouldn't have been a problem, turned into this big thing that almost made me late for my appointment. Also because I was just freaking out. And if you ask me why I was freaking out, well, usually when I park, I pay for my parking because, you know, you have to pay for your parking because if not, you'll get a ticket and those are expensive and I don't want that. But I'm also totally struggling with the puzzle right now. And also, I totally hope you can hear me well enough. And now I'm closer to the camera. So you can't see me? Oh, hello. That looked weird. But yeah, so I got to where my appointment was going to be. I thought I was doing just fine. And I usually pay with my card. You know, you stick your card in the machine, you pay, and you're going your merry way to whatever you are going to do. No problem. Or, if you don't want to pay with your card, you generally pay with cash. Yet again, not a problem. I've done it for years. Never been a problem. This time, it turned out to be a problem. Because more and more of these places have it so you can download an app and pay for your parking with an app. That's not me. I don't like it. I prefer to use things I mostly understand, which is either paying with my card or paying with, cash. Great, easy, simple. I've done it for years. I know what to do. I know how to do it. Well, as I said, there was a problem. The problem was that the machine that you pay on apparently was in need of an upgrade. Usually they put on a note that says, we're doing an upgrade, you can't pay, so today's free. Yeah, That was before people started with apps. I don't like it, the app things. I'm gonna complain a lot about apps in this episode. Or at least until I'm done telling my story. But yeah, I don't like apps. I have a phone. Luckily, I did buy a phone in the fall, so I can technically download apps. I just don't like it. It confuses me. I find it very, well, just that, very confusing. I don't like it. I'd prefer not to have to do such things. So I generally don't. But this time, I got there and realized, shit, I have to pay with an app that I don't have. So, me freaking out, figure, hey, I'll just do the next best thing. There are several other places around here with parking spaces. So I'll just go to one of the other ones and park there. No problem, because I'm sure the other ones you can pay with either your card or cash. So I jump back in the car and take off. And I drove around. And I continued to drive around because on all the other places, and this is not really a place that I'm familiar with, mind you, so I was getting a little stressed, but I figured it'd be fine. So I was driving around, trying to find, I drove into several, I don't remember exactly how many, probably 5 or 6 different parking lots. But I didn't get to park on any of them because all those parking lots were for either people that were a visitor to that specific place, which I was not, or they were an employee there. I didn't work on any of those places, so that didn't work either. Or you had a digital approval from someone who worked there, so you can have, show them something and say, I am allowed to park here. Which I obviously didn't have. Come on. That was part of the problem. So, after driving around for probably 10 minutes, trying to find somewhere else that I could park and pay with either cash or my card, I realized, no can do. There is no other place around here where I can pay with those things. Boy, does that suck. Starting to be a bit, not late, not yet, but starting to be a little stressed because my appointment, the time for my appointment was coming up. So that was stressful, to say the least. And then I figure, okay, fine, I'll try this whole app thing. Pretty upset at that point because I was getting stressed. Really stressed. Also, getting stressed because I knew I had to download an app, which last time I downloaded an app was, was in the fall, probably in September. That was the last time I downloaded an app. I don't do that a lot. I don't like it. I'm way too obsessed with my phone, so I try to not do such things. So, and when I downloaded an app in I think is September, I had help. I had someone basically holding my hand then and telling me what button to push and what to do. And so that worked out okay at that point. But now I realized I had to do it on my own. And it's not like I have a problem doing things on my own. Doing things that I don't want to do on my own, however, and that I don't know how to do, that's a bit of more of a struggle, kind of, obviously. So that in itself, a challenge. And the next challenge was to remember, where in the world do I find the apps to download. Because as I said, I don't do that a whole lot. So I don't really, well, know any such things. So that was, so I was standing there by this annoying machine trying to figure out where on my phone do I find the place where I download apps. That was the first struggle. And for people who do this all the time, there ain't no struggle in the world. I get that. But for those of us who do not do such things all the time and would prefer not to do them at all, it's a rather big struggle. So, I mean, I did find the place on my phone where I could download an app. Okay, fine, cool. I figure, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I can handle this, you know? And then, trying to figure out which app to download. That was when I started to get really stressed because nowhere on the machine that I usually pay on could I find the name of the app that I needed to download. Apparently, you're supposed to just magically know these things, which is weird because how are you supposed to magically know things when you don't know things? It's impossible. Okay? It's impossible. But luckily for me, there are nice people around. So me getting real frustrated, and I think I was kind of exuding like frustration. I mean, let's be honest, I must have, because wow. But yeah, that was trying to figure out which app to download. That was a challenge in and of its own. You'd think, like, they say you have to download an app. You'd think they'd be kind enough to tell you which app you're supposed to download, right? Wrong. I basically, and also there were a couple of teeny tiny pictures, not really that much bigger than a puzzle piece, you know? There were a couple of teeny tiny pictures. So I tried to basically, I felt like I was basically trying to push my face inside the machine, trying to get close enough to figure out what the heck those pictures were trying to tell me because they were so teeny tiny. Still couldn't quite make out which app I was supposed to download. And mind you, I was getting very, very close. I had like 2 minutes left before my appointment started, so pretty stressed at this point. And if you hear some background noise, it's someone outside working on their garden. But yeah, I was getting pretty stressed because my appointment was about to start. That did not help my frustration level, which was it was quite young, probably like 100 or something. Something like that, because man, I did not want to be late for an appointment. I hate that. But yeah, I kept trying to figure things out, trying to show my face basically inside the machine to see if I could figure out what it wanted me to download. As I said, that was a bit of a struggle. You can't put your head inside a machine. Or at least not that machine. And the pictures were tiny. But I also said, luckily, there are kind people around. So, one of the guys that were standing next to me, as I said, I'm pretty sure he sensed my frustration. That was not very hard, I think, to sense that frustration. So he asked, like, do you find everything all right? And I was like, no, I've never done this before. This is evil. I'm late for my appointment. And also, I'm sorry. I don't mean to take it out on you, but I'm very frustrated. I don't like this at all. I have no idea what I'm doing. And he was like, oh, that's okay. You know, it happens. Okay, so the app you need to download, and he told me the name of the app. And I searched it up, and when you search up an app, apparently you get a lot of search results. Hopefully the one at the top is the one you're looking for, but how was I supposed to know? I hadn't been there before with an app. So yet again, the frustration was at a peak level. As I said, luckily, kind of people were helping out. So I was just like, is it this one? Showing him my phone. He was like, yeah, that's the one. And you do it by clicking, first you click on the button that says download. And I was like, what that? And he's just like, calm down, it'll be fine. I'm right here. My own little support group. So that was nice of him. So he basically walked me through how to download the freaking app. I was really frustrated. I did apologize to him. I mean, I had enough brain space to know I should probably apologize for being such a mess. So I did that. And I can tell that he was also getting, not frustrated, but he was also going somewhere. So he couldn't take all the time in the world. Poor thing. So yeah, that was, and then he was like, and then you put, after you've installed it, then you click on the button that says, God, what did it even say? I don't know. Something. It obviously said something. Yeah, open. Heck. I mean, come on. I don't usually do apps at all. So I repeat, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And then, okay, so the app is then open. Downloaded and open. You'd think it'd be fine. And it's just like, okay. And then you just push in and type in where you're parking. Because it was an app that was for several different places. And I was like, I don't know. So poor thing had to continue to guide me through this whole disaster of an app. And when I got to the point where paying, because you apparently have to enter all these payment details too in this stupid app, he was getting stressed because he was like, I have to go now. And I was like, okay, thank you so much for your help. So he had to leave. And I was like, oh shit, now what do I do? So I tried to okay, how do I even, what information do I put where? Still really frustrated at that point. But eventually I put some of it in. And then, what do you know? You need more information, and I did not have that at hand. And this woman standing next to me, she's like, are you okay? Do you need any help? Are you finding things okay? And I was like, no. Well, I need help. I don't know what to do. I'm late for my appointment. I have to go. Also, I'm sorry that I'm being frustrated. It's not you. It's the whole app thing. I hate it. It's evil. But yeah, so that was great. So absolutely not great. But, so I kind of give up at this point. I was like, I can't figure it out. And I need this extra information, and I don't have it on hand. I had it in my car at the time. And by then I was late for my appointment because this whole thing took so much time. And I was so frustrated. So I basically just said, F this, I'm giving up. I guess I just have to, get a ticket. Get a parking ticket, which I hate because they're always so expensive. But at that moment, I didn't really see any other choice, and I was so frustrated. So I was just like, you know what? F this. I give up. I'm just gonna go in and have my appointment. And then, when I get in, the lady I had an appointment with, she was like, are you okay? I was like, no, I'm late. And then I was like, quickly recounted this whole thing about the parking. And she was like, yeah, they're really good at giving parking tickets really fast there. So, we can figure it out together. I've done it before. I'll help you out. It's gonna be fine. No need to worry. And I was like, nah, totally. Like, I was so distraught at that time. I wanted to cry. And I'm not one that cries like the most super easy. So yeah, that was not fun at all. But eventually she managed to calm me down a little, and I managed to put the information in where I was supposed to, and then I was like, I don't even know if it's correct. I don't even know if I'm doing the right thing. Still very frustrated, but luckily it did work out in the end. But man, like, no, that is no, not acceptable, not cool, not kind, just, yeah, potentially pure evil when you have to download an app. And I mean, if I had my old phone, that wouldn't even been a possibility, because my own phone, I couldn't download apps. It was too old, and yeah, so that would so I guess I'm very, very happy that I bought a new phone in the fall, because if not, this would have been even more disastrous. But man, like, that should not be allowed. Like, having to force people to download an app when they have no idea what they're doing? Not cool. So not cool, man. I don't think that one fits there. But yeah, that was a whole thing. I don't think I'll be going back there for appointments, which right now I'm very, 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 very happy about, because I do not want to deal with that again. On the bright side, I mean, I do have the app now on my phone, so at least that's a good thing. But yeah, no thank you, I'll pass. Put in a different way, if you want me to do something and I have to download an app, don't bother. Just don't. Just don't. Like, apps, not my thing. So not my thing. Oh man. Yeah, I kept calling it evil, and I sincerely mean that. It felt like they were, like, trying to break me. And considering how close I got to actually crying, especially in front of other people, yep, that, definitely evil. Definitely evil. That is just, man, I do not know, I do not do well in such, with such things. I'm just saying, that's not acceptable. Man, that was so not cool. And I was so stressed, but, you know, I have learned that there are a lot of good people around, people that are willing to help you, even though they're going somewhere and they're kind of a little bit potentially late, and they get even later to the place they intended to go because they stopped and helped a complete stranger, as in me. And yeah, so that's, I mean, see, it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all bad, because it did prove that people are willing to stop and help complete strangers when they get really frustrated because they're freaking out because it's something new that they don't understand and they have no idea how to deal with. People stop and help, you know? People are kind, and thank God for strangers in that case. I mean, it's just, yeah. So I'm very grateful to the strangers that helped me. How could I not be? I mean, Come on. But also, like, why would you make that, like, so you have to download an app? Well, what if I'd had my own phone? I wouldn't have been able to do that. Then what would I have done? And the answer is, I have no idea. You know, apart from absolutely freaking out. And that one I did do, the absolutely freaking out part. I absolutely did that. Oh man, that was not fun. I mean, no, not fun at all. Not fun at all whatsoever, but I did get to my appointment. Sure, a little late, but I did get there. And I was shown kindness by strangers. I was shown kindness from the person that I had an appointment with. And I'm just like, yeah. Everything before the actual start of the appointment, I actually did start the appointment too, because I was like, so not okay. But yeah, everything works out. Things have a funny way of working out for you. Just saying. Yeah. And strangers, I know, like stranger danger, yada yada. And sure, in some cases that might be true, but in some cases it's, thank God there were strangers there that could help me. Because without them, man, without the strangers in that scenario, I would have gotten a parking ticket and I would have been way more lost than I actually was, because I was really lost. And not in like a cutesy cool way, more like absolute panicky way. And that was yeah, that was not fun. I repeat, it was not fun. I do not want to do such a thing again. But, you know, you can't always choose everything. So, just gotta keep your fingers crossed and hope for the best. And if you're feeling screwed, just, yet again, keep your fingers crossed and hope that there's kind strangers out and about willing to help you out. Because that is absolutely the thing that saved me when I was having that struggle. So, yeah. I guess it's my way of saying, if you see someone really struggling, and if you think that there might be a potential that you might actually be able to help them, please do. Please help a desperate, frustrated, absolutely panicked stranger. Because sometimes we all need help, you know, and there's no doubt that I needed help in that case. And luckily, as I said, people came together and helped me out, and I felt very lucky that people were willing to do such thing for me. So, yeah, be kind to others. You never know when you can make someone happy and literally save their day. Just saying. And even though I have a table now so I can standing like this, doing the puzzle, not always the most... I prefer to sit when I do puzzles. Unfortunately, not quite an option at the moment. So, standing like halfway bent over a puzzle, not the most comfortable. But at least I don't sit on my legs and make them fall asleep. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. But that was story time for today about how the kindness of strangers is a godsend at times, and I'm extremely grateful, and I think we all, oh, that is very wrong. I think we all need to work on being better at helping strangers. Not if it puts you in danger, obviously, but just in general, help out people that needs it. And also, obviously, stay safe. Because if you don't stay safe, you won't be able to help anyone else. So that's the caveat to that, I guess. I hope you enjoyed my little story time. I hope you found it, I don't know, amusing, and that you enjoy hearing about someone helping others and it working out, because it did. It worked out. It really worked out, and I'm so lucky. So yeah, that was the story of how I freaked out in a parking lot and had a bunch of people come and help me. It was great. I loved it. Not the freaking out part, but the getting help part. And now my back is starting to be uncomfortable because of how I'm standing. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!